It's that time, y'all. Time for Big Boys Boxing.
I would never let a white boy beat me. I would never let a white boy beat me. Possible opponent. Big right hand, he's out. And it's over. It's over, and it's going to be a knockout victory for Joe Smith.
What up, fans? Welcome back to Big Boys Boxing. Apologies for the tardiness. So background music's on, and as you can see by the picture down the bottom there, we have a little bit of news with regard to Jarrell Big Baby Miller. He's gonna be back in the ring, and he's gonna be fighting Jerry Forrest, who's a kind of, maybe I'd say a mid to high level journeyman kind of guy. He's got 3 losses on his record, fights where he stepped up. Most of the other fights on his record that you would see or notice, you wouldn't know most of the names unless you're a pretty hardcore boxing fan. Some of the guys he's beaten twice to pad up his record. However, he did have a really good scrap against Jermaine Franklin in his last loss, and personally I thought he won that fight at least 8-4, but they still gave it to Franklin. I wouldn't have argued with the draw, but they still gave it to Franklin to hang on to his hoe. What is he called? The 898 assassin, they call him. But you know, I've been watching Jermaine Franklin, and I don't have a high opinion of him. Yeah, he's an okay boxer, but he's not anything special as far as I can see. But Jerry Forrest, he's gonna lose to Miller, and I think after Jarrell Miller being out of the ring for 18 months, keeping his mouth shut for quite some time, which is quite out of character, he probably should take a tune-up, particularly if it's the first fight that he's had in his professional career where he's not on drugs, because that could have been the case with Jarrell Miller for all we know. Throughout his professional career, he's avoided every drug test he possibly could. He wouldn't enroll with the WBC clean boxing program, and once he got popped for 3 substances, 2 which had to be injected to be in his body, you know, it's raised suspicions for everybody. The guy throws a shitload of punches. Is that due to PEDs his whole career? We just don't know. And you know, another reason why he's been pretty quiet in the media, in my opinion, is because every time he opens his trap, he gets criticized. Now, it's not the first time we've seen boxers get popped for drugs, but when you're a very verbal, shit-talking kind of boxer who's worked his way through the ranks to get a big money title shot, and then you pop dirty, that attracts a lot of attention. So Jarrell Miller is going to take a long time to live this down. I don't think he's going to live it down for many years, but we shall see what happens. So just do a quick audio check here, make sure everything's running. Yes. Yep, she good. So yeah, he's gonna be back in the ring. It's gonna be, was it July 9th at the MGM Grand Top Rank show. As we all know, Jarrell Miller is now promoted by Bob Arum at Top Rank. So when I looked at it yesterday, there was nothing else on the card just yet. Just let me have a quick look. Pretty sure it wouldn't have changed as yet. Here's Big Pharmacy Jarrell Miller. That name's gonna stick for a long time. You got no one else to blame but yourself. Okay, yeah, so there's nothing else confirmed on BoxRec on the show as yet. Big Baby Miller's 23-0 with 1 draw. I believe it was it Joey DeWeco he had a draw with? Shit, I can't remember. I'll go back and look at that. I think it was Joey DeWeco. And it actually says his TBA for his opponent, but there was an official announcement yesterday. So BoxRec seems to be running a bit behind at the moment. I do notice if you search up Jerry Forrest on BoxRec, he's still contracted to fight. Well, he's still listed to fight Filip Hrgovic in March, is it? No, in April he was supposed to fight him, but they obviously got called off because of the COVID-19 situation. I don't know what the dealio is with the contract, whether there's still a contract or it was just fully cancelled. Yeah, it was Joey DeWeco that Jarrell Miller had a draw with. That was way back in 2013, long time ago. And that fight was only a short fight. Yeah, it was only a 4-rounder. And as we know, Joey DeWeco is very durable, can be quite evasive, so he was able to deal with the volume of Jarrell Miller. The volume is mostly what wears fighters down when he stops them. I don't think he has huge power, but if you stand there and let him punch you in the face, sure, he'll knock you out. But who does that? Seriously, who does that? Also, in the news, Ajit Kabiel is finally making a comeback. I believe that fight's going to be in Germany. The opponent is yet to be announced for that. I also see Murat Gassiev could possibly make his heavyweight debut in Sochi, but man, how many times is that dude supposed to be making his heavyweight debut? Don't cross your fingers for that one. I also see what's his name? Big German giant guy. He's going to be fighting Jason Bergman. I'll just have to look. I can never remember this dude's name. .6'9" giant German. I'll just look up Jason Bergman. There it is. Christian Thun. He's 4-0. He's I believe he's a German prospect. Give me a sec here. Got his stats up now. Yeah, his birthplace is Germany. He lives in what? Oh, he lives in Monaco. Okay, Monte Carlo. Yeah, he's 6'8.5". He's listed at, and doesn't have a listed reach. He's orthodox. He's a big unit. So the size difference between himself and Jason Bergman, who is a fairly kind of durable journeyman kind of guy. He's only a short southpaw. He's only 6'2", so there's going to be basically a 7-inch size disparity there. I mean, Jason Bergman is small enough to possibly make cruiserweight if he really wanted to, but what was Bergman's last weight? Yeah, 218. And that was against Frank Sanchez. So, you know, he could make cruiserweight if he really wanted to. But I've seen the story of Jason Bergman. You know, he's a truck driver for a real job, and he's started making a bit of money out of boxing. So it is what it is. Should be a bit of a test for Christian Thun. It's a step up compared to who he's faced before. That fight is going to be it'll be in the States, it's in Miami, and it'll be on the 17th of July. So let's see if there's anything else on that card. There's quite a few fights getting announced around that time. I mean, the Ajit Cabial, I think, is the 18th of July as well. So, boxing's coming back, man. Okay, so we've got a few fights on that card. We've got the main events of super flyweight, super bantam, the chief support, super feather, cruiserweight. Who's this cruiserweight fight? Sirik Masadalov. Don't know that dude. 5-0 prospect, obviously, with his opponent to be the almighty TBA. We've got a welterweight belt on there as well. Not names that I recognize. Well, I recognize TBA. There's a lot of TBAs on here. And there's the heavyweight fight, Christian Thun. Got another welterweight fight on there, and that's it. But yeah, a couple of TBAs on there. There's only 3 TBAs on there out of 7 fights. So it is what it is. And in other local news, Justice Huni from Australia, it's a young 21-year-old guy who did fairly well in the amateurs and is looking to go to the Olympics. Oh, excuse me. He was looking to go to the Olympics, but the Olympics have obviously been postponed. So just give me a sec here. I wonder if he's got a profile on BoxRec. I can't seem to find it. Maybe I'll try Google it and see. Justice Huni. Doesn't sound too Australian. Sounds like a Māori or Pacific Island name. He lives in Brisbane. Doesn't have a listed birthplace. Super heavyweight amateur. His record is 18-3 as an amateur, but I don't know how reliable the amateur numbers are on BoxRec. I don't think they're that accurate. And he doesn't have any stats, but I'm pretty sure he's like 6'4". I haven't honestly seen him fight yet. Alias JPH, status active. I'm sure he's orthodox too. Where is it? Doesn't say. 21 years old, 48 rounds as an amateur, 4.75%. It's the amateurs. There's not a lot of knockouts in the amateurs. As everyone's wearing headgear, big gloves, and it's only 3 rounds. So yeah, nothing here about his reach or his height. I'm pretty sure he's 6'4". So yeah, he's gonna do some pro fights prior to the Olympics next year. There's a story on BoxRec on the front page. It's getting near the bottom at the moment if you want to go and check it out yourself. He's got some comments about switching between doing 3 rounds and 5 rounds and so on and so forth. But yeah, so it doesn't look like there's many people in here. One person watching, no comments. Not really any point in me opening up the chat if nobody is in here. But what I shall do, I'm doing a legacy with Filip Hrgovic on Fight Night Champion, and I took a loss last night to Alexander Povetkin, trying to go too hard, and got counterpunched, then ran out of gas and got stopped in the later rounds. And then I thought I'll just dive straight back in the deep end, and I jumped into the final eliminator against Deontay Wilder. So I'm just gonna load that up, and you guys can watch the fight with Filip Hrgovic and Deontay Wilder once I find it. So just give me a sec here. A little bit disorganized today, but it happens. Searching in the wrong place. Dum dum. Here we go. Here it is.
We welcome you live to our night of pay-per-view action. Joe Tessitore alongside Teddy Atlas. And we welcome you to the Thomas & Mack Center, just off the Vegas Strip, for our main event of the evening. 10 rounds of heavyweights. And the anticipation for this bout has grown as the week has gone on. A lot of talk behind these two. Now it's time to walk the walk. The Beast's ring walk, just a cool, calm stride to him. Looks like just another day in his life. Thunder's ring walk is one of those ring walks where you realize how attentive this fighter is. This is a guy who has his eye on the prize, and nothing will distract him.
To hear any sound. This is still rendering the video is
opening 3 minutes of this 10-round fight. Well, we'll see how this plays out here, but one thing's for sure. The Beast is fully committed to utilizing that jab.
Yeah, and he doesn't throw it a lot. The funny thing about it, not as much as you would think. It's just that it's very effective. When he throws it, it lands.
Really a lot of consistency from him with the right hand.
In and out, in and out.
And now he's targeting upstairs. Thunder scoring with that right hand.
You're still not moving enough. Move, move.
And you see what he can do when he sends that right to the head. one, gives one. The right hand scores well. Good double jab by the Beast.
You're taking too many punches. Hands up.
Really on the mark with that over-the-top shot with the right hand. And right from the start, he's throwing the power punches and landing them.
I think he has a date and he wants to get to it.
A little give and take, and here comes the left hand.
Back to the body.
Good biting, snapping shot by the Beast. Combination to the head. And now he's acting like a fighter. Coming back with the right hand after getting scored upon. And now he's targeting upstairs.
Hands up, keep your hands up, keep your hands up.
The Beast's putting a smile on his corner man's face right there and frustrating his opponent
So
with
as
that
you
jab.
see, looked like he pretty much got the better of me in that first round. But the problem for him is he doesn't have great stamina. You look down there, his stamina went down a bit. I was
The Beast's getting back
probably
to
still a
basics,
little
good
bit too
solid
aggressive.
jab.
I should have let him go,
Thunder's
avoid
right
his
hand
punches.
scores well that time.
Get a bit better with counters in this round. And he starts
Landing
slowing
two
down.
jabs by the Beast.
Come on, kid. Focus.
Scored well
Doesn't
up
like
top.
those body shots.
And a punishing hook
I
by
shouldn't be leading with the
Thunder.
overhand right like that either.
Fires off that hook. The Beast is giving us
Grab
something
him.
to think about early on in this fight here, but his opponent has even more to think about.
He's
He
stuck
has
in the corner.
established the jab already.
Yes, he has established the
Jab
jab.
my way
And now
into
his
now.
opponent has to think about moving his head so he
Ooh,
can get
got
past
really
it.
The
good shot
combo
there.
lands upstairs. That right hand over the top lands
Got
flush.
him though.
Keep working the body.
Halfway through round number 2. Good step back counter punch
He's
there.
getting quite damaged now. It's backing up.
Thunder's able to land a nice clean left hand. Good flush shot
Good
upstairs.
jab. Got me with it.
Good.
Just not there. Straight right hand off the mark.
I'm learning to move my
Looks
head
to the
better
head.
and make a miss, but I'm countering. Concentrating too hard on missing the shots rather than trying to counter
The
once I
Beast
miss.
is getting
I want
himself
some
into the
misses.
mix now, landing that left hand.
I do have a much better fight. My next fight was for
Nice jabs
The
there
belt
by the Beast.
against Tyson
He's
Fury.
committing to the work
Had to fight a lot
downstairs. He
better
puts
and I
forth the
did
right
fight a lot
hand.
smarter.
And you see what he can do when he sends that
Still
right
keeps
to the
coming
head.
forward even though he's getting hurt.
The Beast's right hand working
Fucking
well
hell,
that
it's getting
time.
more
He
even that
scored
way.
well.
Prisoner, don't stand in
Thunder's
front of
got nobody to blame but himself.
Okay,
I mean, he got hit much too much in that last round.
Well, he was throwing his punches from too close. He's giving up his height. You're throwing from that close, and you're going to get counted over it. If your opponent wants to do that, guess what? His opponent wanted to. He had the desire to do that, and he took advantage.
Really good work right there, landing the two punches in sequence by the Beast. Solid straight right hand.
Come on, kid, focus.
I'm still punching a lot of air.
Oh, keep your feet moving.
Well, 1-2 from Philip
The
Hagan. It's
Beast
pretty
is
reliable.
and a big right hand
Got you
by
hurt.
And banging
And the
away
body
he
shot puts
goes.
him down.
Oh, and he goes
Weak
down
body.
for the first time tonight.
Still got to do some editing on these characters. I think Wilder's set up a bit weaker than he's supposed to be. Must have been a hater who built that character.
And somehow, some way, he's going to continue on here.
And if
He
he's
won't
going to
last
stay in
long
this
now.
fight,
Once
now
he's
he's
hurt.
got to avoid his opponent like the Black
Body shot
Plague.
wrecked him again too.
Covers up
Just
nicely,
damage
gets rid of
there.
his opponent's
Goes up
body
pretty
shot.
quickly now.
Halfway through this round,
Body shot. Oh, that hurt him. Yeah, backing up. He still keeps coming forward. Alright, here he comes. Not gonna last long now, boy.
Good double jab by the Beast from the East.
Going down, son. Body. Yep.
Back to the body.
Wait for him to shoot. Draw him in. And step back. Counter.
The Beast's jab continues to carry the day. He's wanted it, he's gotten it. Oh, a nice, solid. Oh, this is going to be close. He may be able to survive the round, but he has gone down now.
Didn't even look like a heavy shot. Bit of a fail on the replay, that one. Just touched him.
That's it. The fight is over. The Beast is in prime form. Power surge here. Knockout winner.
But yo, I figured out how to stream directly to Discord. So, a couple of the guys that I've got in the gym, Hannah B and Philip Carl Roberts, hope to catch up with them and get some gym fights going. I might even just record those ones, but if I'm playing by myself, I can just turn on Discord and you'll see me going live. You can come into the room, I'll set it up so no one can talk while I'm fighting and only hear my voice. So you can go in there, double click on the screen share that I've got, it'll be full screen with sound. You can turn it up and down as you please. But I'll also set up another voice channel for streaming. I can stream real fights directly to Discord now. So this could be handy. Shouldn't get copyrighted. I don't think it's going to get taken down or anything like that. So this is good news. This is good news for people who can't find links or whatever. Hey Marla, how you going, man? Adam Fahey in the house as well. Good to see you, boys. Far too much output by Wilder, yeah. Especially when he hasn't got great stamina. But it's kind of like how I was fighting when I first started. I mean, I've only been playing a few weeks, but I'm starting to figure out how it works a bit better. My biggest issue is controlling my stamina or managing my stamina. So moving your head a lot more, only throwing punches when countering in the first 3 rounds. And once your opposition starts to wear down a bit, then you can start putting it on a bit thicker. Works a bit better. So, man, it's an old game, but it's fucking awesome. No news on Parker at present. Sorry, Marla. I've been searching all over the place. The closest I've found is Lucas Brown saying that he was going to be talking to Team Parker. And that was about a week ago. So, I'm looking for something to happen with them, but it just ain't at the moment, man. Unfortunately. There's something up with my chat. Any news on Parker? Any news on Parker? Any news on Parker? It's not on the YouTube one. But yeah, it's most likely gonna be Lucas Brown. But I don't know. It could get all fucked up with the way things are going. You know, there's been a few Kiwis being allowed back into the country from overseas, and that stuff up the other day with 2 people being let out of quarantine early to go and attend a funeral that's got 200 people. Turns out they had COVID. They got lost on the way. They stopped to ask for directions. I spoke to people. I mean, fuck, what a fuck up. So if this shit keeps happening, it could get all fucked up, and maybe Parker will have to fight Junior Far or Hemiahea, or someone domestic inside the country. I mean, they found another one. They caught another person coming into the country yesterday who had COVID, but the military is taking care of quarantine now, so no more fuck ups are letting people out and starting all over again. So fingers crossed nothing happens and Joe can get a fight going. And you know, the suggestion I've been banging on about for a while, if he's gonna fight Lucas Brown, then Junior Farr should be on the same card fighting Dempsey McKean, and Hemi Ahio should also be on the card fighting Alex Leopai or Bowie Tupo or Solomon Himono. You know, make it a real trans-Tasman clash with 3 good heavyweight dust-ups on it. Why not, man? Come on, David Higgins, dig deep in those pockets. Dig deep. Also, you get tested on day 3 and day 12, and it wasn't followed. Yeah, man, the rules are there for a reason. We don't want that shit back in the country. We had no cases until we started letting people back in. Yeah, the Kiwis are coming back in, but it needs to be strict quarantine, because you know, those people should not have been allowed out early unless they had tested clear. That's the only way they should have been let out, and it wasn't done. I'm pissed off about it. The whole country's pissed off about it. And I'll bet you if those 2 women's photos got out, they wouldn't be safe anywhere around. I mean, sure, someone died. It's a tragedy. But you're endangering hundreds, thousands of people's lives by not doing what the rules say. Not just one person who died. I was pissed off, man, when I heard about it. Absolutely pissed. Yeah, man. Absolutely furious. I didn't know about it until I saw it on the news at night. And my missus had to tell me to shut up, watch my mouth in front of the kids. Because I was swearing at the TV, calling them all sorts of names under the sun. Yet the whole country had to suffer for 7 weeks of staying in your bubble and doing what we needed to do, following the rules, and then that shit happens. It was really frustrating. You know, it's like 2 people can make the whole country's efforts mean absolutely fucking nothing. Yeah, they come from the UK, but they're Kiwi nationals, yeah. I don't think anybody else is allowed in the country as yet. I'm not exactly up with what's going on with border controls, but I think they're allowing returning citizens and permanent residents to return. I do hear the Cook Islands are looking to try and be able to open their borders to New Zealand as well, because there's no COVID-19 over there. What did I see on the show last night? Have you been paying attention? You're less likely to get hit on the head by a coconut than what? And one of the dudes says, get hit on the head by 2 coconuts. But the answer was actually get COVID-19. So yeah, they've got it under control as well. And even if we do open our borders to countries that are dealing well with it, it should just be mandatory. If you come into the country, you don't leave customs till you've had a COVID-19 test, and you don't leave quarantine until you're clear. You get test. You know, we can do 12 to 1400 tests a day. We have the capability of doing that easily. There ain't half, or there ain't even like 100 people in quarantine daily. So test everybody daily. If you're clear, you can go. If you're not, you ain't going fucking nowhere. Recently, relatives of mine died of a heart attack, but the death certificate said COVID-19. Wow. If your relative died of a heart attack, it's still quite possible that COVID-19 could have caused the heart attack, isn't it? If COVID-19 is putting strain on the system of somebody who's particularly unwell already, yeah, it's like many people who die of COVID-19, the actual cause of death is respiratory failure, but the respiratory failure is caused by COVID-19. If you get what I'm saying, if you get tested after you're dead and there's COVID-19 in your system, they'll put it down to COVID-19 regardless of whether you died of a heart attack, respiratory failure, pulmonary arrest, which is a heart attack, whatever. If you've got COVID-19 in your system, you died of COVID-19. But I'm sure there are a lot of people who have died that didn't have COVID-19, maybe died of just a normal flu, that they put it down to COVID-19 even though they're not tested. Yeah, it's not getting exacerbated here in New Zealand. We've had 22 deaths. So was that? And I don't think there's one of them is under 60 years old. Most of them are from rest homes, rest home clusters. So, you know, it is what it is. But we're pretty sparsely populated compared to the rest of the world. You know, we have the same area as the whole UK combined. But there's, 66 million people in the UK packed into the same space. We've only got 5 million. So it's much easier to control in areas where you're not right in each other's faces all the time, because you can't transfer it as easily. But that's my thoughts on COVID-19 anyway. I just hope the rest of the world deals with it and we can get back to some normality in a cruel way. You could say, well, it could be a good way of population control, and the reality of it is the planet will recover somewhat if, you know, 100 million people just disappeared. It's a true reality, but at the same time, the humanitarian aspect of dealing with it, you don't want everybody to die, do you? So we'll see what happens. But anyways, let me know in the chat, is anybody interested in jumping on and having a yarn? I could go and open up the voice channel if anyone's interested. But I don't want to be on for more than about half an hour from now, so yeah. At this point, you get hit by a bus and your death is caused by COVID-19, man. I don't know about that. That's getting a bit silly there, David, I reckon. I mean, things are probably a bit different where you are. Yeah. We had 22 people die, so it's not getting thrown out of proportion here. We went hard, we went early, we got on top of it, and it is what it is. But I guess you're in the UK, David Mason, and things are pretty bad over there, right? Multitasking at the moment. We're just sweet as Marla, no problem, brother. I was only gonna open it up if somebody particularly wanted to jump on. I've got some mandatory defenses to do on my game shortly, and a few other things to do around the house. So it's no biggie, brother. Air New Zealand is opening back up to full flying in September. Okay, that's interesting, Adam. I don't see how they could announce that sort of thing now, because they don't know what the rest of the world's situation is going to be like. I mean, I think they're pretty much already opened up domestically here anyway. I could imagine maybe Australia, Singapore, Cook Islands, a lot of the Pacific Islands could be open to international travel, but at this stage I can't see the sense of announcing going back to normal in September, because how the fuck would they know what it's going to be like in September? Things are not bad. Things are real bad. Well, I was speaking to someone from Scotland just the other day, and they were telling me that they're still getting over 500 deaths a day. Now, with your theory of you get hit by a bus, you died of COVID-19, I mean, even if you took away half the deaths and attributed it to people getting run over by buses or whatever, 250 deaths a day is still pretty freaking bad from where I'm sitting, considering Scotland's got the same amount of people as New Zealand. So what do you don't think that's bad? Europe is open to themselves, so they are back up and running. I mean, I wouldn't have a problem with the whole world being open to each other if individuals protected themselves properly. But the problem is, there's fucking idiots. No matter where you go in the world, there are fucking idiots. And those idiots can kill the whole world. Hey, I'm Jono, Big Boys Boxing from New Zealand. I've got COVID-19. What's your name? Oh, who cares? You're going to be dead in 2 weeks. You know? There's a guy here in New Zealand who went around doing that shit on purpose. He got arrested. Got let out on parole. Or got let it... Was it parole? Good behaviour or parole or some shit. Then went and did some more dumb shit. So they put him in jail. Left him there. I don't know what's going on with it. But, the fact is, wherever you go, there's idiots. So I'm not happy if our borders get open to everybody, unless the military are controlling quarantine permanently until COVID-19's gone. Nobody out of quarantine unless they're clean, whether they've been there 2 weeks, 4 weeks, who cares? You don't get let into the general public unless you've been tested as clear. Because those idiots will always ruin the game. Over 100,000 a day. Well, what did I see on the news? Was it shit, almost 1 million deaths so far or some shit? I can't remember. That's globally. If you test negative 3 times, you should be allowed to travel to countries which are open. Yeah, I can agree with that for sure. But at the same time, wherever you want to go, I don't think you should be allowed to get on a plane to go somewhere else unless you're tested clean. And then when you get to the other side, you still have to test again to be let into the general public of whatever country you go to. I think that's how it should work, and that should stop any idiots playing any games anyway. But I'm no doctor, I'm no politician, I'm no customs officer, and no longer military, so yeah. What does my opinion mean? Sweet fuck all, really. $500-mile round trip. Yeah, they should have been tested before. Yeah, before they even came to New Zealand, so they at least knew what they were carrying, if anything. I don't know, man. The world is a terrible place at the moment, and it can only get better. And you know what, fellas? I'm gonna leave it at that. It's a big thank you to everybody for joining me today. If anybody is interested, I'm about to jump onto Xbox Live. Anybody wants to come and have a game, my gamer tag is in the description, and so are all the links to Discord if you want to catch up on there during the game. If you don't have a headset, all that funky fancy shit's in the description. So enjoy your day. Don't forget the thumbs up on your way out, and I'll catch you next time. So that's it for today. Appreciate y'all coming and checking out the Big Boys Boxing content. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Also, if you want to get more involved, you can go to the Big Boys Boxing channel page, and over here on the top right there's this Discord icon here. If you click on that, it will take you to the Big Boys Boxing Discord server. This is it here, and these are the text channels here. The info is all about the channel and how to get involved. General chat, we all just talk about boxing, any subject, everybody's welcome. Live fight links, I drop links here that will take you to live fight events. I generally drop the link here 24 hours before the fight, so if you don't have a broadcast, you can come here and find a way to watch it. Also, fights that I do record, I will be posting here. I've got a couple here already, as you can see. And down here, the voice channels, live panel. If you'd like to get involved with the live YouTube streams, the panel is on here. Once you get here, you just click on live panel, and as you can see, you're in. If you'd like to mute at any point, there's a little mic icon here. Click on that and you are muted. And if you'd like to leave the call, this is your hang up button. Simple as. And down here, this is anytime chat. It's another voice channel. You can get on here and talk with anybody who's in there about whatever you want to talk about. It's free for all. So get involved. I'm Jono from Big Boys Boxing, and I will catch you next time. See you.